While many who have already achieved the dream of homeownership are worried about higher interest rates and where they're going to go in the future, there's a large subset of Canadians that are very much more worried about how they're going to save for a down payment so that they can eventually buy a home and not get left behind. And that's what we're going to talk about today, is how to save a down payment and the down payment crisis that millennials are facing. The definitive guide on how to manage your credit. Product, penalty, price, in that order. It's never been more important to get your mortgage right. Okay, so welcome back. Obviously, a lot of you have probably noticed that I took a week off from making videos. There's two reasons for that. First was I was participating in Darren Hardy's Business Masterclass. He's the former editor-in-chief of the Success magazine. So taking a course that he has developed, taking all the greatest information that you can find from all of the best minds in the world from when he was working at Success magazine. And basically they put it into a 3-day course that is absolutely amazing. It's like a 3-year MBA that you get in 3 days. Totally phenomenal. The best course I've ever been through by far. The second reason was because I spent the last week redeveloping an idea that I had a few years ago with respect to a down payment challenge. It's something we never launched because we didn't think it was something that would get sold and something that people would want to participate in. But over the last week, there's been a whole bunch of articles, a whole bunch of information come out with respect to down payments and the increasing dilemma that millennials are facing when it comes to saving their down payments. Because what it turns out is that this is becoming the single biggest obstacle to home ownership, is that time it takes to actually save a down payment. And the reality of it is it doesn't have to be that hard. It doesn't have to take that long. So at the end of this video, I'm going to go through and show you what we've created to help you increase your down payment faster and get to that goal of home ownership in a significantly shorter time than what you ever thought possible. But before we get into that, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and please hit that like button so more people like you can see this video. And don't forget about our race to 25,000 subscribers. When we hit 25,000 subscribers, we're going to give away $5,000 to one lucky winner. I appreciate each and every one of you, the 18,700 and so of you that have subscribed. Thank you for that. If you haven't already subscribed, go ahead, click that subscribe button. It's free, it's easy, it's definitely worth it. And you have to be subscribed to win that $5,000 that you can put towards your down payment if you win it. So let's get into it. Let's discuss down payments and everything that's going on in the market, because this is quickly becoming the biggest issue or the second biggest issue, depending on where you're at in the home buying process, that most millennials are facing. And this is true for the people that are watching this channel, because I did a survey recently, fully expecting that the biggest obstacle that people were facing when it came to their mortgage scenario and their mortgage journey and their home buying journey was going to be getting the lowest interest rate or making mortgage payments. And it turns out I was completely wrong here. I was surprised. I put saving for a down payment as kind of that first step in the journey just to see how many people were at that place. I fully suspected that most of the people who watch this channel were either in the process of finding a house already or were going to try to be paying off their mortgage faster. And lo and behold, check this out, 33% of the people who responded to this survey are in the process of saving for a down payment, and that is their biggest challenge right now. And that's out of 923 votes. So more than 300 of the 900 votes cast were people who are actually in the process of saving a down payment. So we haven't really made a ton of information, a ton of videos with respect to saving a down payment on this channel. There's a couple here and there, but it turns out that there's a big need for this. So if you are one of those people, I am here to speak directly to you and say, I'm here to help. This is why we do this YouTube channel. One is because part of my why is to inspire people to thrive and give back. Part of thriving is getting to that dream of home ownership. And the second part is because this is what really fulfills me, is doing these videos and getting this information out there and making this process easier. So that's what we're going to do today. And, you know, it's interesting because this survey is something that I put out a week ago before any of the down payment videos came out, before any of the down payment articles came out. But like almost at the exact same time that I put out this question, an article, a research paper from CIBC In Focus from Benjamin Tell, one of my favorite economists, probably one of the most prolific economists in the Canadian real estate space, and at least in the Canadian mortgage space. He came out with this article talking about gifting for down payment and the perspective that it is bringing to the market right now. And it's really interesting because we often wonder how many people are buying nowadays and getting a gifted down payment. Is it 50%? Is it 100%? Is it 70%? Is it 20%? And it's true that there's a large proportion of borrowers who are getting their down payment from a gifted source. This is often cases parents or grandparents who are pulling out equity out of their existing properties and giving it to the future generation as an advanced inheritance so that they can get into the real estate market. Now, we've got some definitive numbers on this. So it's really interesting because just under 30% of all first-time homebuyers right now are getting a gifted down payment. Now, that leaves a pretty big gap, about 70% of people who aren't, who are getting down payments in the traditional format. And here's the other interesting part is this used to be 20% back in 2015. Now in 2021, it's 30%. And the amount of the down payments has gone from $52,000 to $82,000. Now, is this because people are just being more generous, or is this in large part due to the rule changes with respect to down payments from a few years ago, where you could put 5% down on the first $500,000, but you had to put 10% down on the next $500,000 if you were getting an insured property. And that would seem to line up pretty consistently with what we're seeing with respect to prices in Vancouver and Toronto, and where we would expect those down payment amounts to be. But really interesting numbers to see that 30% of Canadians are getting about an $82,000 gift, and they're using that for their down payment now as opposed to gathering it from their own resources. Now, in addition to that, and something that we see a lot in our business, is we see people who are moving up to bigger homes also getting gifted down payments as they start to cross that $1 million threshold where they start to need 20% or more down payment. So this is all really, really interesting information. Of course, on the heels of that, a new article from the Financial Post came out today. The headline here is, yes, it'll still sting to save for your first home down payment, but there's ways to survive the pain. And they get some really interesting information here with respect to how to do that. Although it's very shallow, it's not real deep information. There isn't a lot here, but they talk about drawing up a budget and sticking to it. They talk about making sacrifices. They talk about considering a property that generates income. And then last but not least, keeping your expectations in check. So while this is a great article, it talks about, yes, it still is possible to get a down payment and save a down payment. We know this because 70% of Canadians are still getting their own down payment without it being from gifted funds. At the end of the day, articles like this don't have enough depth to really give you the information you need in order to purchase a property and save the down payment that you need in order to purchase a home. So that brings us to, first and foremost, a few tips. One, budgeting is obviously a really good thing that you can do in order to save a down payment faster. The second thing is increasing your income is hugely beneficial. Third thing is taking advantage of any sort of government or employer incentives. Those make a big, big difference. And the fourth thing is having some sort of accountability. So making sure that there's somebody there or a group of people there, maybe that you're working with or that you're competing with, in order to help you generate that down payment and get to that home ownership piece faster. Now, all that said, after reading all these articles and watching a few videos out of the US, because I spent some time in the US last week, I realized that there's a place and a gap where we can help significantly with respect to people saving their down payment and saving it faster, because we've coached over 1,000 people to help them save their down payment faster and get to where they want to go a lot quicker. So what I realized was we could use the same technology that we use for our homebuyer boot camp and our secrets to getting the lowest interest rate course, and give you guys basically a framework, a 30-day framework that could help you save up to $5,000 in 30 days and get you to where you want to be really, really fast. Now, there's a few key things here that you need to know. Basically, what I'm going to do is I'm going to zoom in and I'm going to give you the pitch for why you should take part in our newly created down payment challenge. So this is going to be a 30-day challenge where you and 10 or 20 or 30 or 50 other people get together with me, and we're going to try to increase your down payments as fast as we can possible. So there's a few things that you need to know. First and foremost, saving a down payment doesn't have to take forever. We see people who save down payments significantly faster than we ever thought that they would be able to do it. When somebody comes to us to get a pre-approval 2 or 3 years out, and then they say, well, we're going to save this much money in this amount of time. And we look at their incomes and we go, there's no way that that's possible. Well, we have been proved wrong time and time again that it is possible to save your down payment very quickly. And on top of that, we've questioned those people and we've done research on those people and we've figured out exactly how they did it. And it turns out there are exactly 3 secrets to saving your down payment faster. And those secrets are all things that we've shared over the years on this YouTube channel. We've had over 1 million people watch this YouTube channel. We've helped them grow, helped them get their mortgage, helped them buy their homes, helped them get great information when it comes to mortgages. And while we've dropped little bits and pieces here and there, this is going to be an opportunity to put it all in one place and really easy to accomplish by putting a framework in place. And this is all about basically doing 4 things. It's about plugging your financial holes, the ones you don't even realize exist. It's about finding ways to make more money. It's about taking advantage of those government and employer incentives. And then 4th, and most importantly, it's all about taking action. And action is often bred by having accountability. So over the next 30 days, if you choose to join us, I am going to share with you 3 secrets to saving up to $5,000 in 30 days and accelerating the amount of time that it takes to save your down payment. And I know what you're thinking. You're thinking there's no way anybody can save an extra $5,000 in 30 days. Well, I can tell you unequivocally, it is possible, it's doable, and you will do it if you join us in this challenge. And this is all about taking 30 days and setting up your finances so they are bulletproof. And just so you know that I'm serious about this, if you take part in this challenge, I'm going to actually give you an additional $1,000 to make sure that you are jump started into your down payment savings if you eventually choose Mortgage 360 for your mortgage. So here's the first secret. The first secret is to plug all the holes in your finances. This is important because one of the reasons that people don't save a down payment is because of the money leaks that they don't even realize they have. The second secret we're going to teach you is how to make more money. And this doesn't mean going out and getting a fancier job or getting a raise. It's about finding the things in your everyday life that can go ahead and accelerate your income. And this is possible for everybody, even if you have a 9-to-5 job already. You are not tied to your 9-to-5 income. There are thousands of ways to make extra money, and you can literally start doing it right now today. And by doing this, you can easily save thousands of extra dollars in a 30-day period. It is possible, it's realistic, and we have seen hundreds of people do it already. The third secret is to use government and employer incentives to your advantage. The main thing to understand here is that this is the single fastest way to accelerate your down payment savings, and it's something that a majority of people don't even realize is possible, or if they do realize it's possible, they don't know how to do it in an optimal way. And this is key because making a few little tweaks to your RSP, your TFSA, or your employee stock program can help you jump the line to home ownership even faster. Now, I know what you're thinking. I already know how to make more money from a side hustle. I know how to take advantage of RSPs, and I know how to do budgeting. And isn't doing something like paying $100 to be part of a down payment challenge, doesn't that just put me $100 behind in my down payment savings? Well, here's the tricky thing for people. Knowledge without action is meaningless. Let me tell you a quick story. You know that course I was talking about at the beginning of this video that I went to, the Darren Hardy course? Well, let me tell you a quick story about that. A few years ago, I got invited to take that course for free. In other words, I wasn't a penny out of pocket for it. In fact, about 300 mortgage brokers as well got to take that same course for as little as $300. And all of us treated it like it was something that was free. We showed up, we had a good time, we wrote some notes, we did a lot of drinking, a lot of partying, and at the end of the day, myself included, almost none of us implemented anything from that course. Fast forward a year or two later, I get invited again to go down to a Darren Hardy course. This time, it was a $10,000 investment. So I paid the $10,000 investment and I went down there with the mindset of I had to absolutely find at least one idea that would get me $10,000 in return. So I worked super hard, paid tons of attention. I did not drink a drop on that trip because it was so important to make sure that I didn't just blow $10,000. And you know what? I got one really good idea that added $100,000 to our mortgage company's bottom line. And you want to know the irony of the whole thing? The course I paid $10,000 to go to was the exact same course that I had gotten to go to for free 3 years earlier. The key difference between doing something and making an extra $100,000 and putting it on our bottom line and doing nothing and making zero and just going and having a party for a couple days was literally making an investment in myself and making an investment in the course. So that's why I feel it's so important for, if you do join us on this challenge, to make an investment in yourself. It's about $97 and it'll probably be one of the best investments you ever make, especially when it comes to that home ownership journey. And by making that small investment, you're going to make sure that you take action so that you get your money's worth out of the program. And it's not just the challenge, but it's also the community you will be joining. There will be a Facebook group that you can join that will give you the ability to interact with other down payment hackers, because that is what you're going to become, a down payment hacker, somebody who has the ability to save your down payment faster than you ever thought possible. And you will join others that are on the exact same journey as yourself, with me as your guide. And what I'll do as your trainer is I will give you the accountability and the secret formula to success. And to go one step further, aside from the 3 secrets to saving a down payment faster, I've created a 5-part framework that we're going to go through step by step, that over 30 days, like I said, I fully believe will help you save an additional $5,000 on your down payment journey. If you're still on the YouTube page watching this, you can click the link in the description below, or if you're already at downpaymentchallenge.ca, you can click the Join Now button to start the journey with us. You'll be part of the founding group of the Down Payment Challenge. Furthermore, you'll get lifetime access to all the content material via the membership page, and you'll also have lifetime access to the Facebook group, so you can rinse and repeat as often as you want to until you get to the point where you fully have your down payment saved. I honestly don't know how many people are going to join us on this journey, but I am going to cap it so that each and every person has the ability to interact with me one-on-one. Consider this $97 investment at the very least to have a one-on-one conversation with me about your down payment as part of some of our live Facebook events that we will do, and some of the live interaction and check-ins that we will do on a daily basis. So click the link to join while you still have a chance. We're always here to help, and I can't begin to even tell you the amazing results that we've already had with our clients using systems like this and the framework that we developed in order to help people save their down payment. And we also have an incredible homebuyers boot camp, but we aren't here to talk about that today. We're here to talk about the down payment challenge, which is absolutely amazing. I sincerely hope you'll join us. I can't wait to see you inside.